Why, hello everyone. Thank you so much for stopping by to my channel. Today I have a lovely video for you, as you can tell by that delicious grilled cheese. It is what I eat in a day, and I think this is going to be the lockdown edition because I made so much good food because now I have time to enjoy the process of cooking. So let's have some fun and let's see what I eat in a day. So the first is, of course, breakfast. Now, I am still working during this lockdown season, so I am going to show you what I make basically every day at 7 a.m., which is frozen bananas, some almond milk, some cocoa powder, which is organic and cold pressed. It's from the local individual farms. And then I put some almond butter, which is my favorite brand. If you can get your hands on that almond butter, look how good that looks. I usually put a nice big scoop just because I like a thick smoothie. And I just kind of eyeball it based on the fact that I've been doing this every day, so I don't really know what the measurements are that I do. But everyone's taste buds are different, I think, when it comes to smoothies, so you kind of just have to try. And then I put some bee pollen. Now, bee pollen has a very distinct flavor, and that's honey. And you may not like it in certain types of smoothies because you can taste the naturalness of it. So I recommended putting it into fruit smoothies, but I've really gotten used to the flavor, so that's why I put it in my chocolate smoothies. And then that was some local honey from the honey lady down the street. And then I put it into my Ninja smoothie guy. And I like that it's countdown, so I don't have to hold it. Because I used to have to stay there and hold it and listen to it. Now I just put it on there and I run away. Once that's done, I drink it usually in about 3 hours, and then I get on to my next. Now, this is a breakfast burrito that I am just in love with. I put some spicy mayo, which I got that from Costco, and you can get it in a pack of 3. And can I just say that it tastes just like the restaurant spicy mayo? So I am stocked up, and I'm so happy that I was able to find this. And then so I just spread it all out, and then I add eggs and some Monterey Jack cheese, which is actually nice when you put it on the egg first because it'll all really sink into the egg, and then when you have your burrito at work or on the go, it'll just be a nice and delicious cheesy burrito. Add some organic avocado, some local bacon to my burrito, and then I wrap that bad boy up and get ready for the day. Now, it usually will get cold because, again, I'm sipping on my smoothie all day, so this will be cold by the time I eat it. But if you just pop it in the microwave for 15 seconds, it'll taste absolutely delicious, and it's actually really good. I can't believe how good it is. And these are also really good to make ahead of time for the week, and dare I say might be freezable. I don't know, but you can try that. Okay. So for lunch, I am going to be making my own version of a poke bowl. So I have a pan heated up with some oil, some olive oil, and then I have cut up some white onions, and I really like to let that sweat in the pan before I add my rice. And I'm just frying my rice to bring it to a boil. And I really like onions in my rice, and I also like chicken stock, but I didn't have chicken stock for this one. And then I also put some turmeric sometimes and some salt. But anyway, we're gonna be just sweating those onions for a bit. As you can see, after a couple minutes, that's what they look like, and they're also a little bit browned, which is great because the flavor is really extracted. And then I add my rice. Now I'm gonna add a cup, but again, I don't really do measurements. I just eyeball it at this point, and I really let my rice to sit and fry, and let that really cook. And I also will add some salt if need be. I'm going to add some water, and again, I just eyeball it. I fill it up and put it a little bit more, and I really like sticky rice, so I add a bit more water for that. And if you're not a pro by any means, neither am I, you can definitely use a rice cooker if you have one, but I really like it when I stir it up a lot and it's just like nice and sticky. Anyway, so I have some fresh local trout, and it was in season because this was around the Easter weekend, so I found a delicious local trout. Look how beautiful that is. I can't even. So I'm just gonna put this into a baking sheet and trying to open it. Yes, I know it's small, but it fits, and that's all that matters. So I'm going to put some salt, and then I'm going to add some fresh ground pepper, recently found this delicious spice company. I think it's pronounced Canal. I'm not sure. This is the poke spice, so I thought it was very fitting for this recipe. Now, they are a Canadian company, and if I'm correct, I believe it's the same people who opened David's Tea. So the spices are absolutely delicious, and they just enhance every type of dish, and they have the cutest types of spices. Anyway, so I press that in. I really like to press it in to my food and my fish, and then I top it off with some olive oil, just to get a delicious browning on top, and then I put that into the oven to bake. So this is some vegetables that I'm going to be adding to my bowl, and I'm just gonna cut them up and prep them. So when my fish comes out, I'll be ready to add everything to my bowl and eat it nice and hot. It's some broccoli, some zucchini, and some green onions. Now, the zucchini and the broccoli I am going to fry because I don't really like to eat it raw. And so I did set those aside on a different plate. And then I also have some delicious orange peppers, which I'm going to add as well. So I am frying my broccoli and my zucchini in some olive oil. As you can see, yes, I am frying them separately. I'm just like that, but you can totally do them together. It's only because the consistency is different by the frying times with each one, so I like to just fry them separately. But you can totally fry them together. That will be totally okay. So I just browned my zucchini a bit, and I am going to put that aside onto my vegetable prep plate. Look at that beauty. That is beautiful looking trout right there. All right, so I just let it cool in the pan just a little bit, just so I can handle it as I'm going to be cutting it up. So I'm going to be cutting it up in strips and just be super, super gentle because it is a very delicate fish that does break easily. I also took the skin off from the back because I don't like to eat the skin at all. So I'm going to be making my poke bowl. So I added my trout to my rice. Then I have my broccoli, some carrots, some orange peppers, and then I'm going to be adding my delicious zucchini and also my French onion as well. Now for some extra seasoning, I do like to add some toasted sesame oil because any Asian dish is just tasting so much better with sesame oil. And then just a little bit of soy sauce just because my rice, I love it in my rice. And of course, my favorite, spicy mayo. Oh my goodness, I can't even begin to tell you how much spicy mayo adds delicious flavor to my bowl. And then I have some sesame seeds. Yes, these are not toasted. I could have toasted them, but you know what? They're just as healthy without it. And there's my lunch. Now, this is also a great meal to make ahead of time. But because I'm in lockdown, I just ate it. Okay, so for dinner, I'm going to be making a tomato soup and grilled cheese sandwich. Now, I am going to do it the extra way and roast my tomatoes instead of using canned tomatoes. And I'm only doing this because I have time, mind you. Otherwise, I would be doing this on a weeknight. This would not be a week. Sorry, I would be doing this on a weekend. This would definitely not be a weeknight meal for me. So I have some delicious local greenhouse tomatoes, and I'm just going to be covering that up with some olive oil, some balsamic vinegar, about a tablespoon of each, some salt, just a drizzle of salt everywhere. Those are a lot of tomatoes, so we got to season them very nicely. Some pepper. And then I'm adding some thyme and a bulb of garlic and some red onion. I'm just adding these like in chunks because I'm going to be roasting this in the oven and then just blending it all. So I'm not going to take too much time to chop it all up. So that is looking very delicious, and it goes in the oven. And then once it's roasted in the oven, I put the tomatoes in my pan, and I'm just putting it all one by one because I don't want a big splatter. So put everything in the pan, put all the juices, then I add some vegetable broth. You can also add some chicken broth as well, but since this is a vegetable soup, I'm going to be adding vegetable broth. I put in the whole bottle of it. And then I add in a little bit of full fat heavy cream. Listen, this is a comfort soup, so you gotta make it comfortable. So I'm just gonna put in a little bit of heavy cream, but I will be eyeballing it, and if it needs more, I will not hesitate to put a little bit more. Now, tomato soup can be a little bit difficult because it can have a sour taste. So if you find that you have a sour taste, just put some more salt, more sugar. It really is based on your taste. So I'm just gonna whip up some grilled cheese. This is a French loaf with some cheddar cheese, and just frying it with butter on each side, and this is the result. And that looks absolutely delicious. It was very delicious. Now again, for the tomato soup, make sure you have that balance of sweet and salty. So sugar, don't be afraid of it. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I hope you are all staying safe and happy, and I am thinking of you. So be safe, and I will see you soon. Bye.